Well, well, well. Seems like things are getting more interesting for the Vancouver Canucks and their trade situations, because earlier this morning we had ourselves Elliotte Friedman making an appearance on Donnie and Dhali. There were a number of tweets that dive into the latest in regards to the Canucks, the trade status of players, and what Friedman had to say about one Kiefer Sherwood. But ultimately, we're going to dive into all that and more here in this commentary. It's going to be a primary Sherwood focus, but there can be some other names tossed into the fray there as well. Let's just go in chronological order from when a lot of these tweets were posted, shall we? Starting out with a bunch of news that actually isn't trade-related. Take a look at this. Rick Dhaliwal earlier in the morning said the Vancouver Canucks were hoping that Thatcher Demko would join the team on the road, but he did not. He continues to rehab at home. Nils Höglander has joined the team on the road, but he is not close yet. Oh boy. Thatcher the Snatcher. It's approaching the 3-week mark, right? And the initial announcement was that they thought it would be 2 to 3 weeks of the injury. Yeah. Demko is not coming back anytime soon. Nils Höglander, though, nice to see him alive and well in practice. Of course, not in a spot where he's going to play anytime soon, but he's taking steps. Speaking about Canucks goaltenders, though, it turns out Nikita Tolopilo's wife is in labor. He is flying home, and Jiri Patera has been called up one more time. So, Vancouver goaltending is a total carousel this year. But on a serious note, congratulations to the Tolopilos. Hopefully everything goes well there. Patera is going to be the backup for the foreseeable future, though, whilst Tolopilo is down and away from the team. Let's go out there and actually talk about the trade stuff, though. Here's what Dhaliwal said on Elliotte Friedman's hit. Lots of interest in Kiefer Sherwood on the trade market. Teams are letting the Canucks know that the market is there for all of their guys. Keep an eye on Philadelphia, because Rick Tocchet knows Vancouver players. Oh boy. So that update isn't really surprising, to be honest. The idea that, these Vancouver guys could be on the market. Make sure you pay attention, because Philadelphia could be in on these dudes. Yeah, Rick Tocchet has an insane level of pull and authority, it seems like, when it comes to acquiring players, it seems. I mean, take a look at Noah Juulsen. He ended up joining Rick Tocchet, and I know that wasn't necessarily like, Tocchet recruited the guy, but Tocchet loves Noah Juulsen. He loved him in Van, he loves him in Philly. He's using Juulsen a ton, and these patterns have been pretty prevalent ever since Rick Tocchet was in Vancouver, that there are some guys that he just likes that he'll absolutely not be afraid to use more than others in an NHL setting. And so, hey, whether it is a Kiefer Sherwood or maybe some other name in Vancouver that he ended up liking a lot more, who really knows? I guess we'll see later on what exactly the situation is there, and if Philadelphia is able to make some sort of a trade for a Vancouver player or two. But then again, we had ourselves some other updates as well that we probably should dive into too. Take a look at this over here. It's a video of Elliotte Friedman actually on the broadcast. He said, "I thought Sherwood might happen fast. As a matter of fact, I thought there was a chance Sherwood might happen before the end of the road trip." Now, that is quite the commentary as well. The Canucks were in California, or they still are in California. I'm assuming that Friedman is referring to the previous road trip that just happened, where the Canucks went over to Carolina and Tampa, and they went back home and they played Dallas. But now they just played off against the California teams. They've got the Colorado Avalanche tomorrow. Just hope that Nathan MacKinnon doesn't absolutely feast on this Vancouver team. But it seems like Sherwood trade talk was that significant if it got to a point where Friedge thought it would have happened like a few days ago. Who knows? It could happen today. We don't know. Now, let's go over onto Canucks News Summary's Twitter account. Big shout out over to him, because there was some extra commentary on Conor Garland that wasn't directly tweeted about. Here's what Canucks News Summary summarized about Garland. Dhaliwal heard over the weekend that a lot of teams love Garland. The interest for him is just as high as it is for Kiefer Sherwood. His cap number looks better as the cap goes up, and even though Garland is signed to an extension, he is still competing very hard. The Canucks really do not want to trade Garland. They prefer to keep him. The Canucks are looking to see if someone is going to force them into making a decision. And the language on that last point, I think it essentially means if somebody overpays for Garland, then that's when Vancouver would make the trade. It's not guaranteed that that's going to happen, but they will probably analyze all their options here. And finally, let's talk about this note as well. Boston and Minnesota, two of the teams that are in on Kiefer Sherwood. That's what Dhaliwal said earlier on today's programming. And then you also had the notion that Columbus is interested in Sherwood as well. This was posted about and talked about by Aaron Portzline. The Blue Jackets are among the club that has spoken to the Canucks about trade scenarios, including a trade that could bring Sherwood home to Columbus. Yeah, home. He is from Ohio, so obviously there would be some sort of a nice connection there. Kiefer Sherwood, man, this guy is totally taking over Canucks trade talk in a way that I don't think anybody really expected this season. I mean, yes, we recognized that he had a stellar 24-25 campaign. He was leading the league in hits. He had 40 points. That's really strong. But I think heading into this season, I mean, nobody really expected him to get off to the hot start that he did. Nobody really expected the Canucks to absolutely suck in the ways that they did. And those two facts combining for this first few months of the year has really led to trade talks being opened up and spread out there into the open. Now we're talking about Minnesota, Columbus, Boston, all these teams potentially being Sherwood trade destinations. And you're also talking about the Philadelphia Flyers. So, yeah, there are a number of things that I think stirred the drink for Vancouver Canucks trade talks at the moment. And based off of Elliotte Friedman's commentary on a Sherwood trade probably being something he had expected a few days ago, it does hit that point home, you know? Ian McIntyre had that article on Sherwood before the Anaheim game saying, yeah, could this be the last game that he ever plays for the Vancouver Canucks? And it's like, all right, well, maybe that was a bit dramatic to say at the time, but, now we're kind of seeing that these trades, they could be happening soon. They are definitely a main topic of conversation at this point. So with that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about all these Vancouver Canucks updates, from Thatcher Demko's inability to come back and actually start practicing with the team, to Nils Höglander doing his thing and potentially being an option soon? You also had yourselves Garland, Sherwood being discussed here, Philadelphia, Tocchet wants Vancouver guys. You could see Minnesota, Boston, Columbus getting involved for Sherwood. Let me know in the comment section all your opinions about these Canucks updates. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.